Hey, what's up everybody? Nate Edwards with Sweetwater, and today we're gonna dive in with the Bitwig Connect 412 audio interface. Now you may ask yourself, why could we possibly need yet another USB audio interface in the world? And Bitwig Connect has the answers. This thing is unique, and we're gonna talk about why in a second. Let's talk about the Bitwig Connect's core functionality first. What is it as a USB audio interface? This thing is a beast. It's designed by a guy named Matthias Hanf. He was the designer responsible for the kind of legendary Native Instruments Complete Audio 6. That thing dropped in like 2015, and I still use mine to this day. Fantastic sound. It's like a brick, rock solid reliability. And you see that in the Bitwig Connect as well. It's heavy duty, 3.5 pounds, 60 decibels of available gain on the microphone input. It's got 4 inputs and 12 outputs, and a lot of really smart functionality tucked not far beneath the hood. So right on the front panel, you notice you've got transport control, which works with 0 setup required in Bitwig, but also I'm an Ableton Live user, and it took me seconds to map this thing to Ableton's transport. Really fun way to speed up your workflow. It's also got easy to access gain control for all your inputs, monitor switching. It does support 2 sets of monitors. You can collapse to mono with the touch of a button, switch to your alt monitors or dim your monitors. And every one of these functions does have another layer of control underneath. For instance, with dim, if I hit it twice, I can actually control how much I'm going to dim the monitors when I hit the button. Or I could level match my B set of monitors just by adjusting the gain right here on the front panel. No menu diving, and it's really satisfying as far as the feel. Now we've got the basics covered. Here's where things get pretty unique. The Bitwig Connect offers some digital control over your DAW, which I haven't seen in any interface, especially at this price point. And maybe my favorite feature on the front panel is this, the Bitwig button. This acts as a shift button for a lot of the other functions. So record on the transport control can go into automation right. I can turn on my metronome. I can enable and disable loop playback. So the Bitwig button allows me to grab instant control of anything I hover the cursor over. And I can also hit the button again to lock to that parameter. So now I can modify one thing while I move my mouse elsewhere to do stuff in my session. The cool thing about this is that it allows you to take instant hands-on control of your session without having to learn a whole new vocabulary. Some controllers, you get them and it's 8 faders, 10 faders, tons of knobs. It's a whole thing that takes you out of the creative process. This thing is totally non-interruptive. It just allows you to put your hands on your production. Here's a great example of where this could come in handy. You see, I'm working on a little house beat here. And it's fine, maybe a little lifeless, maybe a little 2D. So why don't I go ahead, head over to the hi-hat and the decay parameter, and add a little life to the percussion. All I gotta do again, hit the Bitwig button. Now what was totally a lifeless and kind of plain Jane sequence becomes something a lot more fun, a lot more danceable. Honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than a good filter sweep. Almost nothing. A filter sweep with a good analog knob. That's so much more fun. So the next chunk of features I want to talk about is the fact that the Bitwig Connect is actually a control voltage hub that has both CV outputs, right? So I can hook up to my modular synths with my DAW, which is something we see in a lot of MIDI controllers and interfaces these days. But what sets it apart, and I think this is amazing, CV inputs. So I can route my analog sequencers, LFOs, different function generators, and bring that kind of organic, messy vibe into my very powerful sound generators that I have in my computer. So for example, I've got a bass patch. It's kind of sweet, but I've got this beautiful Moog sequencer here. All of a sudden I'm using its sequencer, its envelope generators to manipulate my soft synths. I'm sorry, but that's just awesome. So I'm sure you could think of a bunch of cool use cases for this if you're a synthesist or a sound designer. Finally, Bitwig Connect comes with a copy of Bitwig Studio Essentials, which does give you a really nice discount into upgrading to Bitwig Studio, the full-blown version. And if you haven't used Bitwig Studio before, you don't have to bail on your existing DAW, but you should give it a try because Bitwig is a really amazing, fully modular environment for sound design, for synthesis. It's why a lot of forward-thinking electronic musicians actually do use Bitwig as a tool along with their other DAWs, Logic, Pro Tools, Ableton Live, you name it. So you do owe it to yourself to check out the Bitwig Connect 412. It's a really inspiring studio piece, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So if you do have any other questions about Bitwig or any other music software or hardware, go to sweetwater.com or reach out to your Sweetwater sales engineer.